We affirm, we visualize, we do all the rituals. But for some of you, your reality looks exactly the same as it did 6 months ago. That isn't a failure of your power. It's a profound misunderstanding of the mechanics at play. Some people think keeping positive vibes means forcing a smile, pretending that the lack isn't there. To fake it till we make it. Man, that fake ass positivity. It's a violent disruption to your nervous system. Your body knows the truth. It senses the incongruence. The bold truth is this. The period between your intention and your physical arrival isn't a test of your patience or endurance, as some spiritual practices like us to believe. It's an anatomical restructuring and recalibration of your density. It's an alchemical process. You cannot force a high vibrational state or outcome from a dense, burned out, or dysregulated physical vessel. The physics of it just don't work. It's like trying to place a call when your phone battery is dead. The system doesn't have the power to connect. You can't make that call. Recalibration of density isn't about changing anatomy overnight. It's about building the capacity of the vessel to hold the charge. Before the call can go through, the physical body has to be slowly upgraded, regulated, and cleared of the dense, anxious noise so it can actually handle the high voltage of a new state of being. The time that it takes for a thought energy to become physical matter is directly dependent on the density and resonant readiness of the container. During the recalibration period, many fall into overthinking of why it hasn't happened yet or shown up. So when that process, we think that we're being denied. The universe isn't denying you. It's waiting for you to be in tune and aligned with it. You need the necessary resources and energy to power up, to level up. And this is exactly what we're going to talk about today. But it's not just about having the energy. Some of y'all's nervous system is locked into a specific setting, keeping your reality locked in with that same old level, much like a thermostat that is locked into a setting, keeping temperature fixed to a certain degree. The universe isn't denying you. Your current reality is simply matching your internal thermostat. Let's think about how the thermostat in your home works. If you were to set it to 68 degrees and someone opens the door and a sudden blast of hot summer air sweeps through, what does the system do? It doesn't panic. It reacts to that spike in temperature by kicking on the AC to pull the room right back down to its baseline set temperature. That is exactly what happens when you try to manifest from a place of trying rather than aligning. You do a high vibrational meditation or go to a retreat. You set your vision to that 100-degree frequency of absolute abundance, but your baseline nervous system is set to a chilly 50 to 2 degrees of survival, scarcity, and trauma. So the moment you step out of your spiritual practice and look at your unchanged 3D reality, your internal thermostat detects the mismatch. It thinks the sudden elevation is a threat to your safety. It thinks your elevation is a threat to your safety. So what does this system do? It kicks on the cooling mechanism. Your brain translates that environmental mismatch into doubt, and your endocrine glands immediately flood your hormonal highways with cortisol. Suddenly, your body snaps right back into its familiar baseline of stress. Damn it, manifestation hijacked. You didn't hijack your manifestation because you weren't powerful, fam. You hijacked it because you were trying to force a temporary spike in temperature without upgrading the thermostat. Let's break down what is actually happening in the body when you're waiting. Because this isn't just a metaphysical philosophy. It's the science of creation itself. The kingdom of heaven is within you. So your mind is within heaven. It's where the idea, the unmanifested thought is born. The universe is mental. All is the mind. The mind is all. Everything in creation began in a mind, in a consciousness. Long before you can taste, touch, smell, and see it, you conceive the idea in the mind, and it has to travel into the earth, which is your body, your physical reality. For that thought to become solid, a physical thing, it has to pass through your endocrine glands, your nervous system. It then alters the rhythm of your heart. It changes the molecular structure of your brain cells. Our nervous system interprets our reality. The process that it takes for all of that to occur is what the physical world calls time. Many people's understanding of time is rooted in a linear perception, therefore it's limited. We've been convinced that time is a straight line from past to future or from point A to point B. But time expands into all dimensions. Our body, this incredible vessel, is an oscillator that generates raw sound waves, vibration, pulsing through dimensions 1,000 times per second. Under altered states, under moments of true alignment, the subjective space-time expands, allowing you to interact with realities beyond your immediate grasp. We do it all the time. Have you ever been at work and you just imagine being on vacation? I'm at work in LA, but I'm also in Jamaica sipping on a coconut, just at work, expanding across space-time dimensions. Don't worry about me. I'm good over here. And here's the kicker. Reality spins faster than your logic. I remember when I was looking for a job and on paper, everything was ready. The experience was there, the results were there, the reference were there, but the calls weren't coming in. And the interviews that I did land weren't turning into offers. In fact, I kept hearing the same thing. You're overqualified. Or worse, subtly, indirectly, we're not sure if we fully believe you. Even with the proof, even with the validation, all the cosigns, all the references. And that was such a disorienting place to be in when your reality and real life experiences and college degree doesn't match other people's perception of you. Because the old version of me, she would have taken that personally. She would have gone into overdrive, trying to prove something, trying to convince people, trying to earn what she already deserved. I would have doubled down, more applications, more effort, more urgency. Girl, you got to pay these bills. What you doing? You better go out here and get this money. But beneath under all of that was fear. And I had to be honest with myself. I've done that before. I've gone gung-ho on submitting applications for all these jobs. And it didn't work then, so why would it work now? So instead of pushing harder, I paused. I slowed the fuck down. And I asked myself a different question. Where am I actually operating from right now? What mental and emotional state am I in? Is this coming from truth? From certainty? From knowing who I am? The great I am? Or is this coming from imposter syndrome? And the answer was uncomfortable, but also hella clear. Even though the facts supported me, my energy didn't. I was still operating from a place of, I need this to happen so that I can prove that I'm worthy. Hella pick me. And here's what I had to learn by doing all of that. When you move from a place of I need, you create more situations that reflect that exact same energy. More waiting, more proving, more almost. Because you can't attract confirmation of your worth while questioning it at the same time. This brings us to something deeper, to the heart and core of how all of this actually works. The universal laws are not abstract ideas. They're not philosophy. They're patterns. They're rhythms. They are operating instructions. And one of the most important ones to understand is the law of gender. Because manifestation, real manifestation, is not instant. It's not transactional. It's organic. It's like pregnancy. Every seed you plant, every thought, every belief, every intention has its own gestation period. And the only way that a seed can grow is by watering it with the energy you consistently pour into it and let nature do the rest. Not what you say once, not what you wish for occasionally, but who you are consistently within your being. This is where the work really begins. Can you sit in your feminine energy, relaxed, receptive, trusting, nurturing, long enough to let something grow? Can you hold the vision without trying to force the outcome? And can you harmonize with your masculine energy, your focus, your intention, your devotion to that direction? Because it's the real creation process. This is where the unseen becomes seen, where the word becomes flesh, where the invisible becomes visible. This is your own immaculate conception, the sacred union of your subconscious and your conscious mind working together, not against each other, no opposition. And when you truly enter that space, when you build that relationship within yourself, what you create doesn't feel forced. It feels harmonious. It feels natural. It feels inevitable. You expect it. But here's the part that challenges most people. When the manifestation hasn't shown up yet, when it's quiet, when there's no external confirmation, no external validation, your one job is this: to only tune into and correspond with the God in you, the creator in you. When you get off track, get on track. Stabilize your nervous system to the frequency so that it can hold what is coming. Because if your internal baseline is chaos, you cannot sustainably hold peace. If your internal baseline is survival, you cannot sustain abundance. If you were handed $10 million today and your nervous system was wired for stress, you would subconsciously sabotage it just to return to what feels familiar. So what you call delay isn't punishment. It's preparation. It's mercy. It's refinement. It's life. Giving your internal hardware time to upgrade so it doesn't crash when the download arrives. So then the question becomes, how do you stay aligned without faking positivity? How do you stay grounded when doubt creeps in? You don't force emotion. You align with law. You master your spin. You shift from contraction into expansion, from fear into freedom. And in those moments when you feel yourself slipping, pause. Feel the emotion. Don't try to escape. Don't run from it. Place your hand on your heart. Regulate your breath. Feel your body return to center and remind yourself the pendulum is just swinging. The tides are turning. The rhythm is absolute. I release. I let go. I flow. Because this is the real work. Diligent obedience to the presence of thought and feeling in the moment. Your thoughts are the cause and your life is the effect. You're not separate from the system. You are the system. An organic, intelligent, responsive supercomputer, original intelligence, not artificial. But what data are you feeding it? Here are 3 tools to help you get back into alignment when doubt creeps in. First, stop empowering the problem. Start empowering the possibilities. The problem only exists because your mind labeled it that way. And that same mind can relabel it as an opportunity. You don't need to control the how. You don't need to force the when. When is it going to happen? Don't worry about all of that. Trust the nutrients in the soil, because even in the dark, the seed is still working. I learned this in my own garden, watching bell peppers grow from a small flower into a red ripened fruit. They were talking about it takes 4 months for maturity. For me, it was more like 18. And in that experience, I had to learn that you cannot rush nature. The ebb is not failure. The ebb makes space for the flow. You are not reacting to life. You are the cause of it, which means you're also the solution. The solution in the soil. Second, cultivate stillness, not as escape, but as power. Stillness is not laziness. Stillness is receptivity. It is knowing what to do when life enters into a quieter season. It's knowing how to regulate yourself when things feel uncertain. It's knowing how to rest without abandoning the vision, holding the vision and trusting the process. Because healing isn't constant light and being on go all the time. It's learning how to move with the rhythm, how to honor the down season without meaning that if something is wrong or not going right. This is the process of alignment. This is the communication within the intelligence, the God in you, constantly corresponding with the 70,000 thoughts. And third, become it. Become the version of you that already has what you desire, not in performance, not in pretending, but in decision. And ask yourself, how does she think? How does she move? How does she feel? What does she expect? And embody those characteristics and feelings now, because everything is vibration, everything is frequency. And if you're not operating within the frequency of what you desire, you won't be in range to receive it. You can't make a call if you ain't got no reception. So what are you broadcasting while you're in these moments? Is it lack or is it alignment? I'm not here to tell you what to think. I'm here to help you see what is already operating within you beneath the surface. These laws, these patterns, they're not fluff. They're the operating system of reality itself. And that means something powerful. It means you're not waiting for permission. You're not waiting to be chosen. You're not waiting for something outside of yourself to activate what is already inside of you. You are the temple. Your mind is a sacred space. And just like anything sacred, it requires maintenance, which means you have to remove anything that does not belong there. Prune those old beliefs, old fears, old identities that have been quietly robbing you and draining you of your energy life force. Cut those things out of your life. Because the law says you don't need to hustle for alignment. You need to understand it. You need to embody it. To embody the light body, you need to feel it. You need to become it. There's nothing you need to earn, nothing you need to prove, nothing you need to borrow, beg for, chase, or find. You are the light. Just be it. Shine. Till next time, y'all. Peace. Be well.